Biscuits and Blurays podcast, where we watch Blu-rays and take the biscuit. I'm your host James, joined by my wonderful co-host Jade.
Hello.
Hello there.
Well timed.
Halloween's out of the way now,
It is.
so the Spooky Dukes are over. However, the Spooky Dukes are not over in a galaxy far, far away.
They're not. We are back into Star Wars
And you
time.
know what? We're back with a bang because we've just watched Revenge of the Sith.
Revenge.
Revenge
of the Sith.
This film, I don't want to spoil what we're going to talk about in any of this, but I'm going to go ahead and say this is top tier Star Wars.
It really is top tier Star Wars. It's also, I realised watching it, the most memed I think I've seen it of all the Star Wars films.
I think it is as well. I don't know. There's some memeable things in Phantom Menace.
I think 75% of this film is
Memes.
memes. Yeah.
Revenge of the Memes?
Revenge of the Memes.
Sure, okay. I'm going to address the elephant in the room and say that there's a vast difference in quality between the last film and this film.
Oh yeah, 100%.
What's happened in that time, do you think?
They've got a rocket up their arse. I don't know what's different. I don't know much to do with the cast and crew or anything to do with it, really.
Yeah.
Not as much as I probably should know.
Do you think George Lucas is going off a little bit of audience feedback?
I suppose he's going to have to, because the last one, The Attack of the Clones, is so boring.
Boring.
It's so hard to get through. I mean, it's kind of redeemed by the kind of action sequences we get at the end.
Is it?
Well, no, but I think sometimes when you get a good ending like that,
Yeah.
it can cloud you over from the crap you just had to deal with.
You forget about it for a bit, don't you?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I certainly did watching it again.
Mm-hmm.
And then was like, oh shit, this is terrible.
This one starts as it means to go on, though. Because
It does.
it starts with a pretty good space battle, and then it just doesn't let up. I mean, sure. It does get political again for a little bit, and then there's some exposition.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, I don't know what it is, the exposition is done much better.
It really is. I think it's the way that the characters are giving it as well. I think it's the soundtrack they're using behind it. It's just so much more interesting. And I also think that the quality of the acting is better in this.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I do.
I don't always agree. I think that it's difficult dialogue to say, probably.
Yeah, I mean, when we think about the last one, everything's really staccato. Like, it's very... They
Yeah.
all talk very much the same.
Mm-hmm.
This one, you get some differences because there's more happening. I mean, they've got more to react to. So, especially with Obi-Wan towards the end, we get a lot more passion. More energy. More footwork.
Yeah. There has been, obviously, gaps filled with the TV show The Clone Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Me and you don't watch it, we don't care about it. So, and anytime they say, oh, this is just like that time we went on that adventure, Anakin, I don't know what they're talking about.
No, but I was living for that.
What, that impression?
Yeah.
I think it's pretty...
You're pretty accurate, really.
Hello there. Oh, that's a bit George Harrison, that one.
It was, yeah. It's because you're thinking too much of Wacko.
This came out in 2005. I remember, like I said before, this was... Any Star Wars prequel film came out just after or before I got some test results from like school. This one, my parents were like, if you do well on your GCSEs, you can go and see Revenge of the Sith. And I was like, okay. But I was 15, so that meant that I was old enough to go to the cinema by myself.
Okay.
And I went way before my GCSEs.
Oh, okay.
So them going, oh, we're going to take you to see Revenge of the Sith. I acted like that was the first time I saw it. And I'd already seen it.
And you was like, whoa.
Yeah. I also want to do a shout out to the video game as well.
Okay.
Have you played the video game?
I have not, no.
On the PS2. It's wild.
Is it really good?
Okay, first of all, it plays out like the film, but then at the end, you can have an alternate ending.
Okay.
Where Anakin kills Obi-Wan and then kills Palpatine and then he's the Emperor or something.
Oh, okay.
But then it was like multiplayer where you could have Jedi duels with each other.
I quite like that.
It was
so
really
balls to the wall.
It was really good and it doesn't get enough attention. First of all, how do you rank this in terms of the rest of the films?
Oh, this is top tier.
Okay. Does it sit quite high?
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
I still really like Rogue One. Rogue One sits before this for me.
It does? Mm-hmm. That's interesting. Okay. Out of the prequels, though, I think you're in the camp that believe this is the best of them.
Oh, yeah. Do you think for a lot of people, because the other two did fall a bit flat, I mean, we do like the first one, but did a lot of other people like it at the time?
I don't think people like it now.
That's the thing. Do people forget about those because this one is so good?
I'd be interested to know in how many people say I love the prequels, but then
because this is redeemed.
But then mean only this film, and this film is good.
Mm-hmm.
Like I genuinely think it's well told. I think it is a bit choppy again with the editing and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Star Wars, I think in general is though.
Not always. No, I don't. I disagree.
Oh, I find it really choppy. Yeah, does this redeem some of the crap from the sequels for you?
The sequels?
You know what I mean?
The prequels.
Yeah, it's late, guys.
It kind of brings balance to it.
It brings balance to the force.
Right? The prequels I've always liked anyway because I like Phantom Menace. I'll die on that hill. Mm-hmm. This one is gold. So 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Right, meatloaf.
Right, yeah, exactly. I don't know. I think when people say I like the prequels, I think they mean this.
Just this one.
And probably Duel of the Fates from episode 1.
And the pod racing.
Yeah, no, pod racing fucking sucks. It's too long. I'm glad there's no pod racing in this.
We don't need any of that shit.
But what we do get is a big space battle. Okay, do you think this drags?
The space battle at the beginning...
No, do you think any of this drags?
It drags a little bit for me.
Does it dip in the middle?
No. Because you've got the whole build-up with the kind of... You can see the fight that Anakin's dealing with. Uh-huh. It's like the dark side's trying to pull him in. And he keeps trying to go back to the Jedis, and they just keep pushing him out. So it's quite good watching all that and thinking, oh, which way is it going to go, even though you know exactly what's going to happen.
I think it was in the last episode we said that the Jedi are just terrible at what they do.
And I will stick with that.
I think it's worse in this one.
They're shocking. They are, I think, partly the reason for what happens.
I don't think their hands are completely clean in this.
No.
But I don't think it's... Like, how do you ever prepare for this?
But they seemed to know what was coming before it happened, and they still let it all kick off anyway.
Yeah.
Which is what I don't understand. It's like, you're supposed to be the wisest guys in the universe.
Mm-hmm. The keepers of the peace, though.
Yeah, but they're also supposed to be wise and intelligent, and they use the Force.
But I think they're at a bit of a crossroads where if they make the first move, everyone's going to hate them anyway. I think they're going to look bad in any situation.
Well, that's the point it eventually gets to with this. It gets to a point where...
It's a bit too late.
It's too little too late. They start to try and change things and they just can't because it's run away with them.
So we're deep into the Clone Wars. The Clone Wars have been going on for a little bit. Mm-hmm. I want to say 5 years?
I do not know.
I want to say 5 years.
Okay. It's a nice solid number, like a raffle number.
Like a raffle number, you know? Like multiples, like a volume.
Is it a 0 or a 5, guys?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I want to say 5 years into the Clone Wars. Obi-Wan's looking older.
And sexy.
Do you think? I missed the mullet from the second one.
You're a weirdo.
That's his best look, the second one.
Oh, it's not.
If that transferred over, which it was never going to. But Anakin looks good.
Oh, they're both good. Oh, this is a feast for the eyes.
Do you like both of them?
Yeah, Obi-Wan, come bone me. You your face.
Yeah, that was funny. Hayden Christensen.
Mm-hmm.
His acting is... I think we've always been in the camp where his acting isn't his fault.
Yeah.
What do you think to him in this? Because he's given quite a lot more to do.
I think he's great in this. I think the acting's not too bad. I think there's some every now and again you get some cheesy, whiny bits. Uh-huh. But I think a lot of that's his character. I mean, especially when we compare it to Luke in A New Hope. Luke's a whiny little bitch.
Yeah, takes after his dad.
So you can kind of see that, but you also forget that Anakin's still quite young.
Mm-hmm. One character who is done a little bit dirty here, compared to the last film, is Padme.
Yeah.
Is it it's purely because she's pregnant, right?
I think a lot of it's to do with the pregnancy, because even we see the change in her costume and her hair.
Yeah.
As well, but all of her costumes all of a sudden are very flowy, and her hair's very flowy. It's very more, I don't know.
She seems to be a bit more mature with it.
Yeah, she's a bit more Lord of the Ringsy, isn't she, in how she's dressed?
Yeah. There's not a complaint, but I like Padme to kick a little bit of ass, you know?
Yeah, maybe because of the Clone Wars she's been going on for that long.
Yeah.
And now she is pregnant. She probably thinks, I'm tired, I'm fed up with this.
Yeah, I'm actually a senator. I'm not a soldier.
I'm not getting involved in this shit anymore. I've got a husband to do all that now.
Mm-hmm.
I remember her being more whiny, though, for some reason. And even watching it back now, I don't feel like she was.
No, I don't think... Well, she's barely in it.
No, she's not in it as much as she should be.
I agree, but there's a lot to pack in this one.
Yeah, I didn't see as much chemistry between them both in this. I'd have liked to have seen a bit more.
Yeah.
I mean, we know Anakin's motivations to why he ends up getting pushed towards the dark side because he wants to protect her. Mm-hmm. I don't see that really, like agonising, oh my god, I don't want to lose this woman sort of thing.
I see. But I think, for instance, skipping to a little bit ahead, when she tells him she's pregnant, he doesn't go, "Oh, this is great. This is very good news." He's sort of like, "Oh shit. This is bad. This is very bad. Jedi's can't have kids."
And then he's like, "Oh, but it's a blessing."
It's a blessing. But I think he's saying that to make her feel better. Because I think she shits in herself as well.
Yeah.
You know? I think they're both in a terrible position where they're both a bit out of their depth.
But I think there was also like a secret excitement as well, because she wants to go back and raise the children on Naboo.
And he wants to be groomed by Palpatine.
Yeah. They have different life paths to be going on.
Yeah. Speaking of Palpatine, he's been kidnapped. He's been kidnapped by General Grievous / Dooku. Dooku's obviously a carryover from the last film. Grievous, for me, arrived here in the opening crawl. He's like, General Grievous has done this. And I'm like, who's that?
Who is this guy?
Stop introducing characters we don't know. I don't know if he's in the TV show.
I don't know. To me, he looks just like a Doctor Who villain. I can't tell you which one it is.
I've got to disagree with that.
He looks like a Doctor... I think they must have ripped it off. But he looks just like a Doctor Who villain.
No,
but it doesn't mean he's not cool, though.
Do you think he's cool?
I think he's cool.
I think he's... Oh, yeah, he's pretty cool.
He's pretty cool, yeah.
Fun fact, his cough is George Lucas.
Is it actually?
Yeah. More like George Mucus.
Oh, well.
Because he's got a cough.
He needs some night nurse.
He's a phlegmy boy. I like his design. I think the CGI has improved better.
Oh, it has.
Vastly.
I think we get better kind of the design as well for the world building. So much more beautiful to behold.
Do you think?
Oh, I think so, yeah.
There's some quite contrasting pieces. Mm-hmm. Like, we've got the bit where the planet that you get on Kashyyyk, where the Wookiees are, to like Mustafar, where it's all like, it's basically hell.
Yeah.
Right? I think you've got more contrast. Therefore, you're like, ooh, more visually striking.
It is, and it's just beautiful. I love it. And it doesn't look, I think, cheap and like all computer generated. I mean, we know it is, but you don't get that feel of poor CGI as much as you do in the second, especially.
I feel like they finally mastered how to do surfaces.
Yeah.
For instance, there's the bit where they're fighting all the battle droids on the bridge at the start. Mm-hmm. It feels like those are animatronics instead of like CGI.
Yeah.
But they are still CGI. Mm-hmm. So I feel like they sort of went, something clicked, and they're like, okay, we've made them look shinier, but a little bit more grimy, because the Clone Wars have been going on for a while.
Yeah, these won't all be looking amazing. They're going to be...
Yeah, and I think...
Battle weary.
Battle weary! Yes! So... But yeah, I think much better. This film looks better. I think it looks better now. Even watching it, I think it holds up. Because we've seen The Flash this year.
Oh my god, The Flash is the worst thing I've seen this year.
You know what I mean? It's like bad CGI. And this is, 2005? And this looks fucking great. Yeah,
I mean that ending sequence especially. My god, that is straight up there in like top Star Wars moments.
Yeah. Oh god. Yeah. Well, we'll get to it. We'll get there. But we've got a big battle on in space, and then on going to rescue Palpatine. Do you think Christopher Lee's been done dirty a little bit?
Yeah.
Right. Because I imagine he turned up on set like maybe 5 minutes. Because his stunt double does most of the heavy lifting. Yeah. Obviously, he doesn't last long.
He does not. He was. I mean, if you've got Lee, you'd have him seen a lot more, wouldn't you? I mean, he's such a presence, isn't he? On
you'd
screen.
Have him in it. Yeah. Dooku goes down a bit rubbish in the rest.
Especially when you think about how he ends it in Attack of the Clones. I mean, he pretty much takes out everybody, doesn't he? Yeah. And yet he's fucked over in this one. Mm-hmm. I mean, we know some time has passed because obviously Anakin's hair is longer.
Of course, yeah. He has a scar to show that time has passed.
Yeah. Well, how does he get the scar? Is it ever mentioned?
And probably in the TV show. I don't know.
I don't know.
I think it's just one of those cool character design things.
And I'm here for it.
Like the Clone Wars have been going on. Oh, he's got a scar.
Oh yeah.
I wanted to address another elephant in the room and say that because of we don't watch the Clone Wars.
No.
We are purely cinematic when it comes to Star Wars. So we don't know, me and you, that Anakin has been training Ahsoka this entire time. No. He's a Jedi Master, technically. Yeah. Ahsoka is his apprentice.
Did anybody know though when this was happening?
But she's not in it. She doesn't she's not name dropped. She doesn't appear. So I don't address that as canon. Cause
I don't. He's hardly training his fucking self in this.
I think he's... So
I wouldn't understand why he'd be training anyone else.
I don't know.
It makes no sense. I'm sorry, I think it's crap.
They say, we don't grant you the rank of master. But you've got an apprentice, though. That doesn't make any sense.
We know why this is making sense for people, and it's because of money.
Money! Yeah.
People want to see Anakin back.
What do you mean?
I think people want to see this kind of Anakin back.
Like the whiny Anakin?
No, this one.
Oh, yeah.
A bit cool, is it going towards the dark side or no?
Well, you've not seen Kenobi. Do you know anything about Kenobi?
No.
Okay. Without spoiling, there are flashbacks.
Okay.
That's all I can say.
Okay.
So...
Kenobi, I get why we'd need to maybe have a TV series, because we do know that they go off on all these other adventures that we don't see, because it is mentioned in this. It's the stuff like this, like with creating Ahsoka.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to be really unpopular for saying this. It's never mentioned whatsoever.
Yeah.
So I'm making a TV show about it.
Because kids, innit?
Money.
Kids,
but again, it might be in the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
And if it is, I'm sorry. It's because I've not seen it.
What, the TV show? Yeah, all that's in Ahsoka, all that's in the Clone Wars, though.
So people I can't get as excited about it.
I know what you mean, and I'm right there with you.
And I wish I could, but I just can't.
Yeah. The whole, I'd say, 20 minutes? First 20 minutes? Is just this rescue of Palpatine. It's pretty great.
And he just sits there loving being tied up.
Weird. There's some nice banter between Obi-Wan and Anakin, though. I think their relationship's always been a bit, like, brotherly. A lot
of bants between them, hasn't it?
Yeah. And they're saying things, what's happened to us? We're smarter than this. I think Ewan's having a bit more... I think they're both having fun with it, the actors. And I think that really comes through. Maybe the dialogue is so stilted and wooden that any sort of charisma from the actors is just boosted.
we love to see it.
Yeah. We're smarter than this. And then they've got R2. R2, you say a little bit, say your piece about R2.
I love R2, he's my favourite. And I like it when he gets when they capture him and he fucks him up with his little
oil spill.
It's like, woohoo! That's, oh my god, I love him so much. He's my favourite of the droids.
For now.
No, I think he still is.
Do you think so?
I think so. I mean, I think obviously later on we get BB-8.
Yes, of course.
People already know this. His design is really cool.
Yeah.
But R2 will always be my favourite because he's sassy as well. And I quite like that.
Yeah.
C-3PO will always be the worst.
Oh, absolutely.
Forever and ever.
He's barely in this. And I want to point to a little section where he really pissed me off in this one. He pisses me off in all the films, apart from Rise of Skywalker. Can you believe it? But
your favourite?
Anakin's just done what he's needed to do Order 66. And then he comes back to Padme and they have a bit of dialogue. And then Anakin goes again. And then 3PO just says, oh, he must be under a lot of stress. It was like, he's just killed so many people. You can't just say a line like that.
Does he know that, though?
No, 3PO doesn't know that.
Yeah, he must be. So he's just stressed because of what's going on at the Jedi Temple. He won't know he was the one doing it.
Yeah, but didn't people say this about, like, Jeffrey Dahmer or something? Like, oh, he's just stressed or something.
I really don't know.
You know what I mean?
Because those things are similar.
Jeff, you've not been right these
last couple of days.
Been yourself
recently.
Yeah, don't check under the bed. When it does get political, and it does get political quite quickly after this, there seems to be a lot of, like, factions happening, because you've still got the Separatists, you've got the Jedi, and you've got the Republic.
Yeah.
These three people, right? These three groups are both... Well, the Jedi are just, like, don't really count, because they're flip-floppers.
Yeah.
Are you gripped by this?
More so in this one, because you can start to see the power struggle happening between the Senator and the Jedi.
But can you see how it's sort of, like, winding down?
Yeah.
Because it feels very...
Well, but you know something's coming up. It's got to come to a head at some point.
Yeah, but like, we only know that because of our knowledge of the original Tridge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I quite like the build up because you know something's coming.
It's the Hitchcock bomb under the table, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like the audience know there's a bomb under the table and it's going to explode, but the characters don't.
Well, I think the Jedi do fucking know, and they don't do anything about it.
The Jedi are terrible.
That's it. Everybody knows what's coming, and they don't do anything about it. But Palpatine wants it to all happen.
Do you think it is... Okay, Mace Windu. Let's talk about Mace Windu. Sam Jackson. Samuel Elizabeth Jackson.
Elizabeth Jackson with his beautiful purple lightsaber.
I feel like he is a big presence in the Jedi Council, and therefore his hatred of Anakin, because he hates Anakin, really, is the one thing that's holding Anakin back. It's like, oh, but if Mace Windu doesn't like you, you can't get on.
Yeah, you're a bit fucked.
Yeah. Do you think that has anything to do with it? Or
I think a part of it as well is because it looks like favouritism. Anakin's just been put on the council by Palpatine.
He's the chosen one. Though.
I mean, there must be a bit of jealousy there, but they're not allowed to have these emotions, are they?
No,
that's a path to the dark side.
Oh, isn't it?
It is. I think they're probably a bit pissed, thinking, well, how come he's getting a leg up?
Yeah.
We've had to train all these years. We've had to try really hard.
Palpatine's grooming of Anakin. I am genuinely engrossed in that. Every time I watch it, I'm always like, yeah, I get it. I see why.
Well, it's like the techniques of manipulative people. It's really...
It's really interesting. Yeah, I agree. Because I think Palpatine, obviously... Well, you said, why does no one know Palpatine is Sidious? Mm-hmm. And I said, but it's not... No one knows.
He does that creepy head turn. You know he's a fucking Sith Lord.
Yeah.
Anyone who turns their head like that.
But you know what I mean? Like, people are going to be like, oh, he can't, not Palpatine. No, he's Chancellor Palpatine.
I just think there's too much going on with him, especially towards the end, when he's like, he won't let go of power and stuff. That to me, I think more points towards him being a Sith than away. Mm-hmm. And they know that there's a master out there because the apprentice was Darth Maul.
Yes, of course.
And the Jedi seem to be doing fuck all about it.
What can they do though?
Oh, they're so annoying.
They're not great.
I mean, they clearly have an idea that something's wrong because they want Anakin to spy on him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's not fair.
No, but they clearly know they've got this strong connection as well. What you'd have done is you'd have promoted Anakin up so he feels great about himself, then said to him, go do this to your friend. Shit sandwich him, not make him feel like shit, and then make him go and do something that he feels is wrong.
But why keep Anakin around? If they need to do this mission on this other planet, why not send Anakin so that he's away from Palpatine's, air quotes, advances?
Yeah. It's because they want to keep eyes on Palpatine, and they know that he doesn't really trust the Jedi, because obviously he's a Sith Lord. So for them, Anakin is their way in.
Yeah. Most of the time through this viewing of the film, we spoke about stuff we liked and things like this, but there was a solid 10 minutes where we didn't say anything.
Yeah.
And I think you know which bit I'm talking about.
Yeah, at the opera.
Space opera.
Space opera. At the space opera, we get Palpatine basically talking to him about, oh, you've been asked to spy on me, kind of the exchange that we get, and he starts then shifting more towards the dark side and what it can do for you. And he tells the story about previous Sith Lord.
The tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise.
And the entire time I'm like, oh, tell me all about it, even though I know.
It's a 10 minutes in Star Wars, in the prequels, that the acting is on fire.
It's so good.
With Ian McDermott and Hayden Christensen. Hayden Christensen doesn't really have much to do in this, but he's listening. You can see he's listening.
Yeah.
But it's Ian McDermott's delivery of this morality tale.
And I think it's the music as well. I think that the soundtrack behind it is really good.
Do you know why?
Why?
John Williams never misses.
He does not.
He
was loving it.
But yeah, this tale of Darth Plagueis the Wise, he's basically explaining... It gives you exposition and lore where it's not clunky like it is in Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones. It's like, oh, time for a bedtime story. That's what it feels like. And
I quite like that. I mean, I think the idea of giving exposition in the way of a story is also more memorable.
Well, yeah, because this is... You were saying it's memeable. People always quote the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise. Quite Shakespearean.
It is, and I quite like that. And again, we then find out that obviously he does know a little bit more. He does mention the fact that Anakin's got a wife and a dream. So everything starts connecting together. And the way that he builds that into what he's just said...
Yeah. Do you think...
It's clever.
Well, Darth Plagueis basically is a Sith Lord, becomes powerful, stops people. Really powerful Sith Lord, teaches his apprentice all his ways, and then his apprentice kills him. You know, it's ironic.
Well, he says he tries to, master death. Very Deathly Hallows.
Yeah. It's not said outright who the apprentice is, but it's heavily implied.
Well, there's always two, isn't there? There's always a master and apprentice, so if...
And, of course, Darth Plagueis is one who can change midichlorians in people's bodies to create life. Is this not how Anakin was born in the first place? Mm-hmm. It says everything. It answers all the questions you might need it to, but then it doesn't say it outright.
Yeah, I mean the same thing about the dreams that he's having. It's almost implied that they're kind of being planted there.
Yeah.
I don't know, I think it's great.
He plays Anakin like a fucking puppet in this.
Mm-hmm. Again, it's the kind of tricks of manipulative people.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just great watching it play out.
There comes a scene later on as well where Palpatine just straight up says, yeah, I'm a Sith Lord, to Anakin.
Mm-hmm.
That is risky. Can you imagine telling a Jedi you were a Sith Lord this whole time?
I think he knows that point, that he's so far in. It's more that I think he also, again, he kind of knows what's going to happen. Because he already knows the Jedi aren't letting him do the needful.
The Jedi Council.
All they're going to do is keep pushing him back. So it's like, I can tell Anakin now, he's not going to do fuck all about it.
He's going to go to the Council and...
He's going to tell on me, but they're not going to let him do anything about it.
But I'm a fucking Sith Lord. Yeah, not a problem. I can throw Mace Windu out the window.
Yeah, I like that.
Meanwhile, Obi-Wan's been sent to this planet to basically stop the war. That he's going to kill General Grievous, and that if General Grievous goes, it's done.
Should be the end of the wars. Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, there's more parts at play here, but General Grievous and Obi-Wan Kenobi have a very special moment together.
They have a very special moment.
Now, memes again. You said about the memes, and we said it at the start.
Oh, this was everything went quiet in the house.
Yeah, I think
James
you were
had to do it.
I think you were mid-sentence talking about something, and I knew what was coming, and I was just like, and then the music rose, and then like cut to silence, and then Obi-Wan jumped down off the platform, and he said,
"Hello there."
Hello there, General Kenobi, fucking gold.
You were so happy when he said it.
Yeah, but I don't ever remember it being memed back in 2005.
Well, no, it's like the rise of memes it wasn't really happening around then, was it?
Yeah. And I feel bad for Ewan McGregor that this is his entire Star Wars career is summed up in that one section. Because he's put loads of work into doing all this wonderful choreography and trying to mimic Alec Guinness and stuff like that. But when it comes down to it, hello there.
Hello there.
Right? Yeah, their fight scene. 4 lightsabers too much?
No, I think it's not enough.
You would like more lightsabers?
No, I think I can see why you might think it might be a bit too much, but I liked it. I liked the
yeah.
You don't know what we're doing because obviously you can't see us. We're doing like these like circular motions that he does. It makes him like a Catherine wheel.
Essentially, guys, what we're doing is we're recreating the scene shot by shot. Yeah, I think that's great. I think he goes down a bit pathetically, Grievous.
He does. Yeah, maybe he's just tired. He's just fed up.
Well, he can't fucking breathe. He's got the virus.
That's the way it be.
He got COVID. Wear a mask. Is he wearing a mask?
Is he vaccinated, guys?
I just want to talk about his design real quick because he's a robot-esque.
He's a Doctor Who villain.
But no, he isn't. But the Doctor Who could never get this sort of creativity.
I don't know. He's got some pretty cool villains, guys.
But he's got But General Grievous is basically a living creature who's become robotic because he's got a brain.
It's a bit skeletal looking, isn't it?
Yeah, but he's got flesh behind them eyes. Right? He's got lungs and a heart.
And he wears a big cloak.
Is this Darth Vader foreshadowing, perhaps?
Maybe. I don't know. I've never really thought about it, to be fair. But now I am.
Okay, what do you think? What do you think about it?
No.
Oh, okay, cool. Moving on. Don't kick a robot, Obi-Wan. Don't kick a robot. It's funny every time, though.
It is, yeah. Maybe going back to that, though, maybe it shows that obviously as you go towards the dark side, you start to lose more and more of what makes you human.
Oh, I got the shivers when you said that.
Did you?
Yeah. Woo.
Because we see obviously what happens later to Anakin.
Well, yeah. He's only got one arm left now.
We know, obviously, we go later with the this has happened already to Palpatine now because he gets fucked up by Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh, yeah. Okay, quick thing.
His face goes all funny, doesn't it?
The Force Lightning. Mace Windu conference. Emperor Palpatine in the office and said, "I am the Senate," and then basically arrests him. These other Jedi that Sam Jackson has brought with him, pathetic.
Yeah.
The lowest of the low. They don't even do anything.
Yeah.
Glorified bodyguards is what these other Jedi are. Mace Windu puts up a good fight though. He
does indeed, and he was winning.
He was, but Palpatine goes, "Okay, I'm going to shoot you with my lightning." And Windu's deflecting it off his lightsaber the entire time. Why would you keep shooting the lightning out your fingers?
Maybe it's because it's keeping him away, isn't it?
Or would you think Windu would kill him if he wasn't doing this.
Well, yeah, because otherwise what's stopping him from arresting him?
But his face is like melting.
And I quite like that. I think it's a good effect, yeah.
I think it's quite cheap in terms of, okay, this character looks like this in episode 1, and he needs to look like this in episode 5. Yeah. And I feel like we've just got to
do the transition too quickly.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, because you can't tell me he's not had to use his finger lightning. I mean, we see finger lightning. I don't like it. Because we see the finger lightning used in Attack of the Clones, and that doesn't do anything to Count Dooku.
Dooku?
I forgot his name.
Dooku.
Love Dooku. It's late.
Yeah, it is late. But Anakin gets in the way. This is the end for Anakin.
It is, yeah. Because he tells him that obviously is a Sith Lord. He's not listened to. Well, he's listened to. They go to arrest him, but they don't let him tag along. Yeah.
But I don't think Anakin's doing this on purpose. Because he's like, oh no, you can't. Mace Windu wants to kill the Emperor here and there.
That's what he's trying to do. He still sees him as his friend, so he's trying to protect him.
So Anakin's like, he must stand trial, which you didn't say that about Dooku, mate. But
no,
he's trying to do the right thing, and he's stopping Mace Windu from killing him.
Yeah,
because he's his mate. I don't think Anakin ever went, I'm going to kill Mace Windu, because he doesn't.
Because all it's then doing as well is help playing into what he's been told that the Jedi are trying to take over. They're trying to take me out of office, like by force.
Yeah, like you're seeing this. This is what's happening.
This is exactly look what they're doing. They're gonna kill me. So he's very clever.
He's a smart man. I think he's quite a good. People always say Darth Vader's a great villain. Yeah, they're there. Palpatine's.
He's up there.
Manipulative. But I think he's up there as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Darth Vader, he then becomes.
He's born, yes.
Yeah. Go to the Mustafar system.
Mufasa.
Yeah, basically. And then kill these other people. And then the war's over and we win.
Oh no, he got to go to the Jedi Temple first. He's got to destroy them all.
Now, this is
it's a really good sequence.
It's a great sequence, but in terms of like what it does to the Star Wars lore, like moments in Star Wars history, Order 66 is the turning point for everything.
Okay, did you already know about it?
No one knew about it. Well,
you know what I mean? I didn't know if it was ever spoken about in any of the other films.
Well, because at this point, no, because no one knows it's there. This is only Palpatine's plan because he doesn't tell anyone. The only people who know about Order 66 is Palpatine and the clone troopers.
I mean, like, for example, is it ever mentioned that all the Jedi just got wiped out?
No. So but you can bridge the gap between New Hope, where there's only Obi-Wan, and Phantom Menace, where there's like 1,000 Jedi Knights.
Everyone's scared of the Jedi, aren't they? When they see lightsabers,
yeah,
they're like, oh my god,
yeah.
As a Jedi, it's like you'd think that more people would be talking about what happened to them.
But then seeing it, you're like, oh shit. Because as Star Wars fandoms, we think Jedi pretty cool. They're not. They're pathetic.
I don't think they're that cool. Well, they're not in this anyway.
On a surface level Star Wars fandom entry, Jedi, cool, right?
Yeah.
So seeing them all wiped out like this, it would be quite shocking.
I think it still is. It's quite sneaky, isn't it?
I think as well, because I played, it's the Cal Kestis games, the Fallen Order games. They go into it as well. And I feel like any time Star Wars, even now, goes Order 66, it's always done like it's been the worst tragedy in Star Wars history. You know what I mean? And I think I'm completely there for it.
Yeah, I think it's done really well.
It is.
The music's great. The shots we get at the Jedi Temple are so good. I mean, it's tragic what happens to everybody. I mean, especially the scene that's memed quite a lot.
It's memed so much. It's the cover of this episode.
Yeah.
Mr. Skywalker, there's too many of them. What are we going to do? And Anakin's just like, I'm on a mission. Here's my lightsaber. Eat it.
Eat this little boy. Yeah.
But yeah, no one's spared really.
No.
Those who are spared are only because they're strong enough or they're not around.
Yeah.
You know what I
mean, and even I would say those that are spared, there's 2.
Yeah. But the prophecy is fulfilled.
And
I said this to you. Anakin is the one to bring balance to the Force. There are 2 Jedi left after Order 66. I'm not going into a Cal Kestis and whatever Ahsoka's doing, or Baby Yoda, or whatever.
That's what I mean. They've taken it all... doing this, they're taking it away from the cinematic version. That's what annoys me a little bit about it. No matter how good I've heard Ahsoka is.
Yeah, I do agree. But you've got 2 on one side and 2 on the other. That is balance.
Yeah, balance of the Force. Got 2 of both.
2 on both. Both of you equally matched. Because no one can really beat the other one. Because Obi-Wan couldn't fight Palpatine. Because he's not strong enough. Mm-hmm. So it has to be Yoda and Palpatine.
And obviously their battle ends with them both just running off.
Yeah, because they can't
kill the other.
Yeah. And obviously... But then that leaves Obi-Wan and Anakin, and they can't do it either.
No.
And they only do it later on because Obi-Wan's Alec Guinness. I think it's so well done. And I think George Lucas... say what you like about like the prequels and stuff, but he knows what he's doing when it comes to his lore that he started.
Yeah. I completely agree.
Yeah. I don't care what Cal Kestis is up to. I don't know what's happening.
We don't care how cool some of these other things are. Because we know that they are cool, to be fair.
Yeah, sure.
But when we're talking about the cinematic universe, etc., I think what we got was pretty good.
Yeah, when you talk Order 66, it's literally 2 left each side. That's how I see it. Mm-hmm. But my God, I love watching it. Shocks me every time. And I think the first time I watched it, I think I cried.
You cried?
I think so. It's the bit where Yoda's like, all these
my
Jedi.
heart.
My heart, my.
Oh.
Okay, but. He's on Kashyyyk with the Wookiees. Mm-hmm. Chewbacca's in this.
He is. I like to see him. He's always a joy to behold.
I'll say it. I don't care for Chewbacca.
Oh, I do.
Do you?
Oh, I do like him.
Is it because he's a big dog boy?
He's a big, hairy dog boy.
He's a big bear.
A big, hairy boy.
Yeah, okay, fine.
That's nice.
But yeah, that's fan service, though.
It's fan service, but I'm here for it. Mm-hmm. Any calls we can get to what we get in the later films, I'm happy to get.
Do you think that the prequels are sort of forgotten what the original trilogy was all about? Because there aren't many callbacks to the original trilogy. George Lucas is sort of going, this is what you've got now.
Yeah, he's just kind of set it up for what's going to happen, I think, with Darth Vader. Like, how does he get to where he is? Yeah. How do we get to the Death Star and all that sort of shit.
Mm-hmm. And we'll get there.
We'll get there eventually.
After Order 66, off Anakin goes to hell, Mustafar. But Obi-Wan and Yoda are like, oh, okay. Someone's putting out a message telling all the Jedi to come back to the Jedi Temple.
Yeah.
It's a trap! Right?
Yeah.
So off they go to the Jedi Temple. And this is where they learn the truth of what's happened.
Yeah, we find out that... Again, they find out then that he's been made the apprentice.
I don't think Ewan McGregor's acting is as good as it could be. Again, not his fault.
Yeah.
For him to see the CCTV tapes or whatever, and then go, I can watch no more. And then, but not shed a tear or anything.
Are they supposed to, though, Jedi? Because that's not supposed to feel extreme emotion, are they?
Yeah, they're quite...
Because that's the path to the dark side.
Oh, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Yoda's on it though. Yoda knows that if into the Jedi Archive you go.
He already knows.
He knows
who it was. Yeah. And I think Obi-Wan does as well, but he just needs to see it to believe what's happened to his friend.
He tells Padme though. Obi-Wan goes to tell Padme.
Yeah, he's got an idea that she's going to know where he is.
Mm-hmm. A quick shout out to that scene where it's Anakin and it's Padme on other sides of the city, and there's no dialogue because they're in the separate buildings, but both of them, I feel like it's sort of telepathic.
Yeah.
Their love for each other and what they're feeling.
And they're missing the other, and they're both scared. And
do you think if Padme was with him, she'd be like, snap out of it, you fucking dickhead?
She'd be more of a tell me everything sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I think he would offload more, and maybe get some better advice. Because so far, everyone he's offloaded to, he's been given some righteous advice.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, but that scene's great when it's just the two of them sort of sat staring at each other. Mm-hmm. I like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, Padme's like off. I'm gonna confront Anakin myself. If there's one person on this planet in this galaxy that can snap sense into Anakin, it's me.
I can do it.
Plot twist: she can't. How do you feel about once it gets to Mustafar? Anakin's killed all these people and he's just stood waiting for the Emperor to get there. What do you think? Because I think the last third of this film is quality.
Oh, it is. To be honest, I think even getting there, it's still been pretty quality.
Yeah.
But it absolutely brings it up such a huge notch. Mm-hmm. It's like Anakin has arrived. Oh, it's so
Not Darth
so
Vader
good.
has arrived.
Mr. Vader is in the room.
Call him Mr. Vader. Call him Mr. Wrong.
Oh, it's so fucking good. When she comes out and he initially runs to her and they're excited to see each other.
Yeah.
And he thinks that again, I don't know if this is naivety because he's still quite young. Mm-hmm. He thinks she's going to be like, yay!
Well, she is a little bit.
Like, let's join the dark side together and we can rule the galaxy.
Yeah.
Forgetting that she's this actual senator.
Yeah.
That's not going to be particularly happy about what he's done.
No. Well, killing kids is a bit weird.
It's always going to be a problem, yeah.
She sort of offloads saying, Obi-Wan's told me this. Has this happened? But then Anakin twists it again and he's lying to her.
Yeah, well, he fixates as well on Obi-Wan in particular.
Do you think Anakin thinks that Obi-Wan and Padme have been...
It's implied that he thinks that, I think.
Do you think it is implied, or is it just the way they're acting it?
Or that she maybe trusts him more.
Yeah.
And that pisses him off.
Obi-Wan's told me this. Stop talking about Obi-Wan.
Yeah, why are you believing what he's saying? Maybe it's a jealousy thing in relation to that.
Yeah. Well, jealousy does turn saints into the sea, Mr. Brightside.
Fucking hell.
But Obi-Wan's stowed away and he's on board. What then starts is the most memeable thing to come out of Star Wars, I think. Mm-hmm. Which is the little bit of dialogue just before the epic lightsaber scene.
Yeah.
And I could quote it for you now, if you like.
You can, after he's choked Padme.
Yeah, Padme's down for the count.
Yeah, so he's choked his own wife. Mm-hmm. And doesn't seem to think that there was anything wrong with that.
You've turned her against me!
And here we ladies and gentlemen, got such a show in the living room. It was incredible.
You have done that yourself. Yeah. You're not taking away from me.
James recited it line for line.
I
was here for it.
Any Star Wars fan could, though, I think.
He got up, he did both parts.
I changed costume. I went full choreographed lightsaber fight.
It was amazing. Him and the cat.
Yeah. The cat was Anakin.
Yeah, obviously.
Of course. Gold. I think it doesn't get any better than this, Star Wars-wise.
Oh, no. What did you think to the visuals in that scene?
I think, in terms of like the stuff that's happening in the background, because we're on a big fire planet,
yeah,
I think it isn't as strong as what we've seen for the rest of the film.
Really?
But your attention isn't there. If the film does its job correctly, which luckily to say it does, you are gripped by Ewan and Hayden doing their dialogue and their fight sequences. Mm-hmm. And that is gold. Because those two... I mean, you explained it quite well.
Yeah, but did you like the choreography in their fight sequence?
I did, but you said they're going at it with so much hate.
Yeah, it's quite jagged in how they're doing it. It doesn't look choreographed in a way. You know, where like, I put my arm here, then I put it here.
If you compare it to the Darth Maul fight, seems a bit more choreographed.
You can tell.
Yeah.
This one, it feels like it's just two actors really fucking going for it.
They're sweaty. They're warm. They're getting the hell beaten out of each other.
It looks more genuine, and I quite like that. It's just two guys just going for it.
Yeah.
And that sounded wrong.
but also right.
But also right.
Meanwhile, on Coruscant, Yoda's gonna have a go at Palpatine.
Oh, and it's a bit crap, isn't it? Come on.
I mean, it is, but when the score's building this much, and they have the big fight in the Senate. Mm-hmm. And then the chair rises out, and then Duel of the Fates kicks in, and then Battle of the Heroes kicks in.
Because you get the big, like, the lava kind of shots up, doesn't it, behind it in
and
one
it
of
goes,
the scenes?
Yeah, it's on the poster.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the poster one. Oh, it's gold. I could watch it all day. And it felt shorter this time watching it.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
That's a bad thing, because first time I watched this at the cinema, I'll never forget it, that it felt like it was going on for about half an hour.
You never forget your first time.
Correct. I remember in the news before Episode 3 came out, Empire did an interview or something, and they said there's going to be a 12-minute lightsaber battle. And I think all of our like Star Wars fandom at school were just sort of like, it's going on for 12 minutes.
Oh my god.
12 minutes. Can you imagine lasting 12 minutes?
I'd like to think you could last 12 minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, she said that's the best joke of the podcast. But yeah, we were excited, and rightly so, because it still holds up.
That's what she said.
Yep, okay, cool. Yoda loses because Palpatine has the high ground?
Maybe.
What is this high ground rule?
I think oh my goodness. I think as well, Yoda's just had to go through all this shit with what's just happened to the Jedi. I think he's quite weak. And he doesn't want to let hatred kind of take over what he's doing. I think he's got a bit of a battle going on inside of him. So I think he's quite weak coming into this battle.
I think he's quite proud.
Yeah.
He's got too much pride.
Yeah.
It's time he swallowed it and goes to Dagobah for some humble pie.
He does indeed. It's like, you're partly responsible for what's happened here.
Yeah, but I do feel like it's Windu. Windu is the problem, I think.
Yeah, but Yoda should, again, he also knew there was something up and did nothing.
Yeah.
He went and ran off to the Wookiees.
It's kind of sad. But Palpatine gets the high ground, so off Yoda fucks. And then, speaking of high ground...
Yeah.
So over Anakin, I've got the high ground. And there's you underestimate my power, don't try it. And he does the flip. And Obi-Wan fucks him up.
He has no legs.
No legs, no arm. He's only got one arm left and it's robotic.
Which just happened to be the good one.
Yeah, can you imagine? That's my one good arm.
That's my one good arm. It's my strong hand.
And then... you are the chosen one. Ewan's acting is strong no matter what he's in.
Oh yeah, we love him in everything.
However, every time he says you were the chosen one, it was said you were going to bring peace, not join them or whatever.
Yeah.
There's so much weight there, and I think Ewan delivers that so beautifully.
He delivers everything in this scene with such passion. And
well,
energy.
Yeah.
And but I love this bit especially.
But it comes from really deep. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's sort of crying, but not. Like, he's heartbroken, is what he is.
It's good emotion of showing someone feeling those things without referring to crying.
Yeah.
Which might be seen to some as being the easy way. Oh, he's showing emotion. You must cry.
Yeah. And when Anakin catches fire, he looks away. Obi-Wan can't watch it, and then sort of takes his lightsaber and fucks off.
Yeah.
But he can't see Anakin die.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't want to kill him.
To be fair, if that was me and I could see he just set on fire and he was clearly in agony, I'd have just chopped his head off.
Oh, you'd have done that, would you?
Yeah.
Mercy killing.
I'd do that for you any day, babe.
Thanks, babe.
But he's clearly in agony and not having a good time of it. You'd just chop his head off, surely.
Well, okay. This is what I said to you, and I don't think I explained it well, so I'm going to have another go.
Okay.
Anakin's journey in the prequels, Yoda said it best. When he said, fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate, hate leads to suffering. Fear, he's scared of leaving his mother in Phantom Menace, and he's scared of what the future holds for his Jedi career. And that leads to anger. This is what happens in Attack of the Clones. Anakin is angry, and he kills the Tusken Raiders when his mum dies.
Yeah.
Anger leads to hate. This is all built up to this
hatred towards the Jedi.
Hatred towards the Jedi and stuff like that. And he says, I hate you to Obi-Wan. He doesn't, of course he doesn't, but he says it, and it's guttural that it comes out of him.
But he goes through all three, doesn't he, with Padme as well, if you think about it.
Yeah, exactly. And then, but that leads to suffering, where he's in agony, because he's, like, burnt alive and he's got injuries and stuff. But he's got so many emotional scars as well, with what happens to Padme and all this, that he is suffering.
Like, all this, like, Obi-Wan, obviously... Everything he's ever known then from his past, it's all gone. All he's got now is Palpatine.
He's gone full Ian Beale.
Yeah.
Right?
That's all he's got left.
He's got nothing left.
That would be... Again, I mean, because it's his baby as well.
Yeah, exactly.
He's gone.
He doesn't know his kids are still alive. He thinks... Well, he's gaslighting to thinking he's killed his wife.
Yeah. To be fair, he kind of did.
He kind of did, yeah. That's not... You know, he's suffering all this time. And I do feel bad for Vader, knowing all this has happened.
Yeah, and that then also fuels into exactly everything he then later does in the later films. It's all coming from anger and pain. Yeah.
But do you see how that one line from Yoda says,
yeah, I do, and I thank you for explaining that for me. That's really good.
I just thought...
You're so clever.
I noticed it this time around in our rewatch of the prequels, because I was like, oh yeah, that is the journey of the dark side. Yeah. Luke and Leia are born. Mm-hmm. Padme dies though.
Yeah, sad. That line is delivered really poorly though. Oh, she's healthy, but we're losing her.
Reason we can't explain she's dying. It's heartbreak, is it not?
Yeah.
Can people die of heartbreak?
Yeah.
I believe it then.
Yeah, but it's been known, hasn't it, where people seem to just die. There's nothing wrong with them, but they just die. A bit different with that, because they hardly even saw each other as well, if you think about it. He was always fucking off on different adventures.
But they loved each other in Attack of the Clones.
They loved each other, but again, this is where I struggled to see why she did what she did.
Yeah.
Old Padme had been like, you know what? Yeah, he's done this, so I'm going to fuck him be the best mum. I'm going to kick his ass.
Yeah. But
she's just, I feel like by this point, for some reason, she's just done.
Do we know what's... But again, Padme's in the Clone Wars and we don't know what's happened there.
Yeah, so maybe that's the thing. We could have done with some of that being filled in. Mm-hmm. Because the Padme we've seen in previous films just wouldn't have given up.
I agree. I will take the child to Alderaan, says I, Jimmy Smits.
Leia got the better end of the deal.
Well, yeah, because if you're going to still want... We've always talked about having a girl. You know? I'll have you, Jimmy Smits. What about Luke? Take both!
No, Yoda says you got to split them up.
Too dangerous to take both, you're right. So off to Sand Planet. Guess who hates sand? Anakin. Never going to go there.
Yeah.
Obviously, Luke and Leia Tatooine. Good de-aging on Carrie Fisher and Mark Hamill.
Excellent, yes.
They look babyfied.
They look very babyfied. They're like a Snapchat field.
We end with Leia on Alderaan. Nice to see Alderaan as well. That's nice. Luke on Tatooine with his auntie and uncle.
We see the two sons.
We see the two sons and the Force theme kicks in.
Mm-hmm.
And we're ready to go into A New Hope.
But sadly we're going into Solo.
I mean, we're going into Solo. Yeah. But if Disney never bought Star Wars and we didn't have Solo and we didn't have the sequel trilogy or Rogue One and we just had these 6, that's enough for me.
It's enough for me, but I do need Rogue One.
But you can't have it.
Oh.
In this universe, you can't have it.
If I've got to have Attack of the Clones and I've got to have Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah. No, you can't have... No, Rise of Skywalker doesn't exist.
Oh, that's alright then.
You've got the prequels and you've got New Hope.
Oh, yeah. I'm fine with that. I feel like...
Yeah. Can you bridge that gap, though?
Yeah.
Would you want to know more about their adventures?
No.
No, exactly.
You don't need to know.
I don't think anyone was asking for more Star Wars.
I don't think so. I mean, this got... Well, it was in the here and now. Is Star Wars getting to the point where it's now oversaturated?
Yes.
When did it get to that point, do you think?
Mandalorian season... No, but probably Book of Boba Fett.
Mm-hmm.
Because, well, Solo, actually. Because no one
came to see it, did they?
I tell you what, though. When Star Wars came back, the hype was real.
Oh, it was,
It was as strong as it was back in 1999.
Yeah.
You were there, I remember. I worked the cinema.
Oh, yeah, you were working at the cinema
was there.
at the
I have a
time.
good story for you, but that's going to have to wait for the Force Awakens episode, I'm afraid.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah, the hype was real. And the hype carried on until maybe halfway through The Last Jedi's release, where people went, oh, Last Jedi, I don't like it.
I think a lot of people didn't like Last Jedi. I think a lot of people liked Rogue One. And a lot of people liked The Force Awakens.
People liked Force Awakens, but it's only in hindsight that people went, oh, that's just A New Hope again. You know,
I watched it immediately and knew
people
it was A New
think
Hope.
it's cool to hate the Disney Star Wars, where at the time people were caught up in it.
Yeah.
And whoever says, oh, I don't like it, I don't like Disney Star Wars, I saw you opening night and you were dead excited.
Yeah.
I know who you are as well, right? But yeah, I think Rogue One no one asked for, but when it got to that last half an hour...
Everyone was like, oh my god, this is great.
The last 5 minutes especially.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then Last Jedi sort of fizzled off. And then Solo came out, and I was there for opening night of Solo. Dead. There was no one there.
I was in Denmark when Solo came out.
Ah, very Danish of you.
Very Danish of me. And I remember them putting up these big cardboard cutouts in the really big, in the big Copenhagen theatre. And no one was bothered.
No.
And even then being there at the time, I wasn't bothered in watching it either. Mm-hmm. And I don't know why, because I'd enjoyed everything else. But I remember thinking, oh, I'm a bit fed up of this now.
Not every character needs a backstory.
Same as not every character needs a Funko Pop.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Who cares about fucking Sebaceous Crumb or whatever his name is? Oh, I need a Funko of that. No, you don't.
You don't need that one.
But the fandom doesn't know what it wants. You said it. There we go.
Yeah.
You know,
I agree.
Don't know. It asks for stuff, and then when it gets it, it's like, well, that's not what I wanted. It was like, well, you don't know what you want, do you?
No.
Just put out Star Wars stuff, and just throw anything at the wall, and just hope some of it sticks. Because the majority of it, I've enjoyed.
Yeah.
I haven't seen some of it, but majority of it I enjoyed.
Mm-hmm. Do you think we'll make our way through the TV shows?
I've done Kenobi. You've done Andor.
Mm-hmm.
We've got that going for us. We've not seen Ahsoka, and we've seen Mandalorian between us.
I've seen her. I'm not gonna lie, I couldn't stick with the Mandalorian.
It's very fetch questy, yeah.
Yeah.
And fuck about with it. I don't care about that shit. But Clone Wars, I tried to watch it when.
Well, wasn't it made for kids initially?
It's for kids, and I tried to watch it as an adult, and I'm like, this is too childish.
I see.
So I don't know. But Revenge of the Sith, better than Space Jam, is it?
100%.
Nice.
What about it? Is it for you?
Oh fuck yeah. Yes, absolutely. This is a great film.
Where does this rank for you?
It's top 3.
What is your top 3?
I don't want to say now because we're already halfway.
Well, where does it rank in your top 3?
3rd.
Why did you say that in a Palpatine way? The way you looked at me then.
This is 3rd.
You looked up and then you gave me like the side eye, like slanty head, like 3rd.
The dark side of the Force is the pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural.
On that note, guys.
Okay. What a film, though. I really enjoyed watching it with you this time.
Oh, as opposed to
the
other time we watched it.
Yeah. But I feel like you share my excitement for this one.
I do share it.
Good.
Not for Solo though, guys. Not looking forward to that one.
But let's just do a quick thing because I've got some people who have said what they think to Revenge of the Sith.
Okay.
Arts Ebony Rose from Instagram said, "So fun, I love it." About Revenge of the Sith.
She is correct.
Correct. You do love it, and so do we. Reese said, "One of the best 10 minutes of my childhood," and yes, he's talking about the lightsaber the battle at the end.
And he is correct.
Correct. Tom said, "Love that movie."
Again, these people just know.
They just know.
They know a good movie when they see one.
Yeah, that's about it. But yeah, Revenge of the Sith is among the top tier Star Wars.
It is indeed, and now we're about to plunge down into the depths of crap.
Hey, you know what? Is it as bad as we remember?
I've not seen Solo.
Oh.
But I know a lot about it.
Oh, okay. So you might get something out of this.
I may get something out of it.
I mean, I never do.
Oh, wonderful.
But I never skip it, you know, because it's not terrible.
Yeah, well, at least I know that once I get through Solo, I've got Rogue One to be excited about. So.
Exactly.
And I love Rogue One.
And then we're on a winning streak.
I think I've seen that more than I've seen any of the other Star Wars films.
It's kind of sad.
I just really like it.
It's good. Yeah, no, I like it. But yeah, Revenge of the Sith, better than Space Jam. Let us know. It is. But let us know. Jade, thank you for doing Revenge of the Sith with me.
Welcome.
We're back on the Star Wars train.
Woo!
That was the train going by.
Oh dear.
Woo! It's like fandom of just people arguing amongst themselves. But thanks for listening, and see you next week for Solo. Yay!
Yay! Bye-bye!
Bye!